Now on CoastTV News.
Work in progress. Dredging in Fenwick Island has started. How long it'll last and what it could mean for boaters in the future.
Neighborhood Watch. Ellendale looking to keep its community safe, but they need your help.
The price of a new police headquarters. Georgetown pushing for a tax increase to pay for this major project.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
More sidewalks in the city. That's what some Milford parents are calling for. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with safety concerns in the city of Milford.
Some parents in Milford say they face a daily struggle when getting their kids to school because there are no sidewalks or crosswalks on certain streets. And as Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, they're asking the city to step in.
Brian Beachhaver holds his sons tight as he walks them to school each day. And these are the thoughts going through his head.
Fear, anxiety.
Beachhaver says he's scared because his route to Lulu Ross Elementary School is lacking sidewalks and crosswalks.
So my main concern is getting my children safely to school every day. And I believe they deserve that without having a fear of getting hit by a car every day.
The school district and the police department both say student safety is their priority and that staff members will continue to patrol pickup and drop-off locations.
According to some Milford parents, this street is just one of their many safety concerns since it is right across from the elementary school but has no sidewalks or crosswalks to connect over to the school.
One area near Mispillion Elementary is currently under construction for new sidewalks. Milford Mayor Todd Collada says he wants to come up with a new policy where the city takes care of sidewalks instead of property owners.
Some maybe more crosswalks we can put in. We're studying that right now, and certainly we'll do something.
There are no details about specific improvements just yet, but parents like Beachhaver say something needs to be done before someone gets hurt.
All it takes is one inattentive driver not paying attention to take out one of these children.
A push for safety in Milford. I'm Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what's the biggest safety issue for children walking to school, and this is for all schools, not just this specific instance.
You could see the updated results. 73% still say speeding cars. We saw that father express that concern. 19% say no sidewalks, 4% say narrow street, 4% say poor lighting, especially this time of year. It's getting darker.
It is.
Yeah.
A little darker on each end of the day. Now, if you haven't voted yet, you can go do that at coasttv.com or use your Coast TV mobile app. We'll have updates to that tonight on Coast TV News at 11. New tonight, we now know the name of the man killed in a single car crash in Milton on Sunday. Police say 66-year-old Sherman Jackson from Lewis was speeding on Stokely Road early Sunday morning. He struck a mailbox, continued through a front yard, and crashed into a tree. Police say Jackson was not wearing a seatbelt and was pronounced dead at the scene.
In Georgetown, nearly $20 million to improve facilities. That's one step closer. The town wants to borrow up to $18 million for a new police department building and public workspace. How will Georgetown pay for it? A tax increase. Police Chief Ralph Holm Jr. says the new building would help them a lot.
We're going to have the best of everything. Our security will be the best. We'll be getting new equipment, and that's going to help us in the long run. Processing evidence will become more secure, safer for the officers.
The building proposal is in front of Town Council tonight. We will have this story for you and the latest with it at 11.
Police have arrested a man they say stole a car, robbed a couple at gunpoint. Troopers say Terrence Savage met with acquaintances on Hollyville and Mount Joy Road late last month. He was already arrested for the stolen car, but is now facing new charges regarding the robbery. Savage faces multiple felony charges and remains in jail. Shallow waters in the Little Assawoman Bay are decades old as a problem, but that all changes right now. The Fenwick Island dredging project officially started this Monday. The dredging boat started by clearing the shallow areas over near the Little Assawoman Bay. According to the town, the project will cost $2.3 million, but the town only has to pay $500,000 of that. The rest is covered by the state of Delaware and Sussex County. One local thinks it's money well spent.
Definitely a needed situation because it's filled in over the years, and the storm of '62, way back in 1962, took all the dunes and filled it in the bay, and so it's a needed situation.
If you're out in the waters between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., you can expect to see some dredging taking place.
Let's go ahead and take a live look right now outside into Ocean City. Our first alert, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a look at our weather. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Maddie. Just want to ask everybody something real quick. Did you notice how wonderful mild it was over the weekend and how great Monday was? For a Monday, it was bright and sunny and all of that. Well, it's going to still stay sunny, but there's going to be a plot twist with that thing. And that's going to be the early morning hours. Right now, we're at 65, still relatively mild, courtesy of our Hershey's exterior camera, and we'll drop down to 55 with clearing skies in Ocean City. But look at these winds, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts and a 37-mile-per-hour wind gust. This is a hint as to what's to come and the plot twist I was referring to. You see, we have the small craft advisory active, so watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds, but take a look at this. Frost advisory in our general area. That's a hint as to what's to come. But let's say you're just planning on enjoying your pumpkin patch picking. Did I say that right? I hope I did. Anyway, 58, 10% chance of rain, but look for windy and dry conditions. And Maddie, it's going to get really uncomfortably cold all around.
All right, Paul, thank you. The Ocean City chapter of the Sons and Daughters of Italy, well, they've gathered donations to help hurricane victims. Members collected clothing, food, and essential items. You see a picture here with a collection center set up at Treasure Beach RV Park. These contributions, they say, will fill 3 tractor trailers, which are being sent to assist those impacted by Hurricane Helene.
We've been telling you about it for months. Today, the last day to pick up forgotten items in Lewis. That's on the beach. Debris left behind by beachgoers, things like kayaks, umbrellas. The city conducts this cleanup each year after the summer season. Some tourists believe that people visiting should be more conscientious about what they leave behind.
I just think that the people got to be more aware of the environment and pick up trash. If you're using the beach, be respectful for others that we're going to follow, and take your devices away. Your crafts, your kayaks, watercraft, anything of that nature, take it with you.
You have until October 30th to claim your personal property from the city. Items deemed unsalvageable, those will be discarded.
New tonight, we know 20-year-old John Cardona Esquia was the man killed in Georgetown in a crash late last week. According to state police, a Peterbilt container truck was driving on Hardscrabble Road when it pulled in front of Cardona Esquia's car.
And a reminder for the return, I was a little ahead of myself there, playing a role in Delaware's Advisory Council on shell fisheries. The council is meeting Tuesday at 7 p.m., including a focus on fisheries in federal waters and offshore wind. The in-person session will take place at the Little Creek Hunter Education Training Center in Dover. You can also join online.
Sussex Technical High School will hold its 8th grade open house and community day from 9 a.m. to noon this Saturday, October 19th. Sussex County 8th graders and community members are invited to learn about Sussex Tech's high school programs, activities, and new building plans. If you don't know, Sussex Tech offers on-the-job training for high schoolers in various careers. Delaware's school choice application period runs from November 4th to January 8th.
Now to a reminder for the return of Draper Media's Bless Our Children campaign. We support charities who handpick families in need, and they ensure every child they get a gift to open Christmas morning. Right now, we're looking for those charities. We are accepting applications from those nonprofits through October 18th.
We are just getting started this evening.
A 5K in Lewis Saturday that you're not going to want to miss, especially for our farmers and farm lovers.
And we're going to start off at least in the 40s. Listen, a change up over the next few hours will go from mild to clear and cold starting Tuesday morning. You really don't want to miss this forecast, man.
But first, Crime Watch in Ellendale, how the community is working to look out for one another when we're back in just 60 seconds.
Angela Alsobrooks got caught taking illegal tax breaks, at least $16,000.
Senate candidate Angela Alsobrooks took advantage of tax breaks that she was not eligible to get.
Angela Alsobrooks' campaign says she was unaware of the error.
That's odd because all 4 mortgages were in her name on the D.C. property.
Alsobrooks owes $59,000 in back taxes. Alsobrooks isn't just dishonest on her taxes, she's dishonest with us. Maryland's Future is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Uneven concrete at your home or business? It's unsightly and unsafe. Call Morris Masonry, Delmarva's exclusive spray foam systems, concrete leveling, and masonry contractor. Morris injects safe polyurethane to slowly level the slab. It stabilizes the ground below, reducing erosion and settling. Leveling is half the cost of pouring new, and it's done in as little as 1 day. Call Morris Masonry for an expert analysis. No job is too big or too small. They'll fix your front step or even a shopping mall.
Or city sidewalks, or a highway.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Neighborhood watch signs. That's what you see as you ride down the streets of Ellendale.
But signs are not enough to stop people from actually committing crimes, and the people who live in the town know that.
That's why they're working to create a neighborhood watch program. And as Coast TV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us, they're gearing up to get the job done.
Our community, our commitment. That's what's on the board that hangs on the door at Ellendale's Town Hall. It's also what members of the new Neighborhood Watch Committee live by. It's a community group operating under the direction of the Police and Emergency Response Committee. Deborah Short, chairman for the Police and Emergency Response Committee, is pushing people to get involved.
Come out, give us your opinion, give us your feedback. We always have public comment, and within the time frame of the meeting, we always allow for it.
The Neighborhood Watch is still working to build up its numbers. Right now, only a handful of people have signed up. Ellendale's town clerk, Karen Emery Brittingham, says they will protect the town at all costs.
So ideally, it would be easier to do with 30 people than it is with 3 people, but we live here. We're part of this community, and we're not going to give up.
When the committee saw there was a greater need, they met it.
Well, then we realized some of the things that were happening were right across the street, and even though that's not town limits, it's still our problem, which is why they opened this up to the entire community, the Ellendale community.
The Neighborhood Watch Committee also received a generous donation from DelDOT. 10 vests were donated so far, as well as lights.
The committee is ready to hit the streets. They already have their vests ready to go. They also have lights just like these, donated by DelDOT. And all they need now is you. In Ellendale, I'm Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
Well, as you're getting ready to enjoy your 18 holes, listen, it's going to look like a perfect day. But if you don't dress for that cold and that cold wind, it's going to be a miserable 18, and I'm not even talking about your score.
NBC Nightly News, weeknights at 6:30 on Coast TV.
Johnny Janasik's multi-million-dollar inventory sell-off is back. Right now, save up to 70% on leather, upholstery, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, 0% APR for 24 months. It's all going on now at Johnny Janasik.
There's DNA. Then there's heavy-duty DNA. HDNA. It's engineered into every aspect of the GMC Sierra HD. With the pulling power to prove it. Tow hitches of the world, prepare for glory. Get 3.9% APR on 2024 Sierra heavy-duty models. We are professional grade GMC.
Design a custom home that fits your unique style and budget with Accessible Home Builders. At Accessible, we provide you with a variety of customizable options to create the home of your dreams.
Accessible Builders provided us with a beautiful home.
Scott is full of ideas from his past experiences, and he really worked with us on all our custom asks and wants.
We would definitely recommend Accessible Builders.
Completely customize your dream home with Accessible Home Builders.
As temperatures drop, FH Fur invites you to be part of something truly heartwarming. Our Fall into Comfort Toy Drive. Through December 15th for only $29, the experts at FH Fur will perform a comprehensive heating system inspection, ensuring your home stays snug through the chilly months ahead. The best part? 100% of the proceeds will go to the United States Marine Corps Reserve's Toys for Tots. Schedule your heating inspection today with FH Fur.
877-CALL-FUR. FHFur.com.
When my husband got sick, he needed full-time care, but I couldn't afford to be there for him.
Workers in Delaware were forced to choose between their paychecks and their families. It was wrong.
Sarah knew we had to fix this, so she met with everyone and listened. Sarah brought Democrats and Republicans together.
Being able to care for a sick child or partner without losing your pay, that's going to help a lot of people.
I'm Sarah McBride. I approve this message because bringing people together is how to get things done.
Johnny Janosik's multi-million-dollar inventory sell-off is back. Right now, save up to 70% on leather, upholstery, bedrooms, dining rooms, and more. Plus, 0% APR for 24 months. It's all going on now at Johnny Janasik.
Honey, we have a leak.
Already?
I told you we should have went with Hershey Exteriors.
We don't cut corners at Hershey Exteriors. We guarantee craftsmanship that lasts.
As you see here, Hershey Exteriors did an amazing job on my roof. I'd recommend them to anyone.
With Hershey Exteriors, you'll get high-quality materials and an industry-leading GAF Golden Pledge warranty. Because one thing you should never compromise on is quality. When you need a new roof, trust Hershey Exteriors, because life is sweeter with Hershey Exteriors.
Precipitation is not going to be a real issue for this week. In fact, precipitation will be a treat for this week because we're still in dire need of more moisture content in the atmosphere and with the soil. Aside from that, we're going to be dealing with the cold and the deceptive sunshine in the afternoon. I'll explain that in more detail in just a moment. So our Boardwalk Plaza camera in Rehoboth, we're looking at 62 degrees right now with 7-mile-per-hour winds. Now, we're going to settle into the mid to lower 50s for tonight, and that's when the cold will start creeping in ever so steadily, ever so slowly. Now, today we had a high of 73, which was 3 above the normal high for this time of the year. We are currently in the 60s, generally speaking, but we are cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. That's why this last weekend was such an unusual treat, and I hope you took out the time to enjoy the outside, because right now we're about 13 to 12 degrees colder now than we were 24 hours ago. Then add on to that, look at how these winds are picking up. We still have active small craft advisories around the entire Delmarva Peninsula, which means we're watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds and that push coming out of the northwest. So it's a cold wind. Speaking of the winds, yeah, we're at 29-mile-per-hour wind gusts, for example, in Millsboro. And peak wind gusts throughout the day, we had between 30 up down to about 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Places like Georgetown, Prime Hook, Laurel, Greenwood, and Stockley at 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And the winds are going to be a nuisance and a thorn in our forecast side, so to speak. 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts for us by 7 o'clock this evening. 32, for example, in Bethany Beach. Then the winds will be shifting out of the west, but still a nuisance at 22 to 25 miles per hour, and then pouring out of the north on Wednesday and pouring directly out of the north on Thursday. The winds are just not going to back off of us. It's just going to stay in our face, literally and figuratively. 44 will be where we'll settle in overnight, so it's going to be chilly. Now, our fall foliage report, we're expecting for no real change. We're starting to get a little bit of a patchy change. The peak, obviously, not happening yet, but that cold is stepping in to try to turn that as well. Tuesday morning, we're in the 40s. Tuesday afternoon, we're in the 60s, barely. Here's that touch of rain that would be a treat, not a real concern, but a treat by 8 o'clock Tuesday. It's in and out so quick, we might even miss it, actually. Then we go into Wednesday, and we're going to peak at about 57 at the most. So here's a summary of what we're talking about. Tonight, temperatures will fall fast and furious with winds out of the northwest and 41. For tomorrow, 61. But tomorrow is going to be an uncomfortable cutting wind kicking through, even though it's out of the west. Then there's Wednesday, a frosty start and a very sunny finish with a high of 60 degrees. But remember, 60 is about 10 degrees below the norm for this time of the year. Finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodel extended forecast. I do have a bit of good news, and that's this. We will have a nice weekend. We'll just have to get through this very uncomfortable week.
Thank you, Paul. This Saturday, the Delaware Farm Bureau Foundation will host its 4th annual Lace Up for AG Literacy 5K Run Walk at Hopkins Farm Creamery in Lewis. The event, aimed at raising funds for agricultural education, features a scenic off-road course, and registration fees start at $30. They say proceeds will help promote awareness of Delaware's agricultural industry and the benefits of local food.
Sounds fun. Well, plans to preserve the 4th Street Forest in Lewis, they are racing ahead. According to the Greater Lewis Foundation, the group reached its $1 million match 9 months early. The Longwood Foundation is matching donations to purchase the parcel in Lewis you see on your screen. The Open Space Alliance has reached 70% of its $8 million goal, and there's a year to go before that targeted sale date.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The newest AP Top 25 poll is out in college football, and for the first time since 1960, Army and Navy are both ranked at the same time. The Mids enter the top 25 for the first time since 2019. Navy is 5-0 following a bye week and last beat Air Force 34-7 on October 5th. The midshipmen are trying to improve to 6-0 for the first time since 1979 this Saturday. Navy hosts Charlotte at Marine Corps Stadium in Annapolis this Saturday. Meanwhile, the Black Knights enter the polls for the first time since 2020. Army is 6-0 for just the third time in school history. And it's worth noting that this year's Army-Navy game is just across the bridge at FedEx Field in Landover on December 14th, just in case any of you might have been curious. Here on DSN at the bottom of the hour, Dover welcomes Odessa field hockey for its senior night. The Ducks are enjoying their best season in school history at 7-2, but the Senators beat Odessa in a good one last year, 2-1. You can watch that game on DSN Plus at 6:30, and tonight on The Final Score, catch highlights of Parkside and Easton in girls soccer. That'll do for sports.
Soaring Over the Shore is sponsored by Morse Roofing and Siding.
Built to commemorate the first European settlement in Delaware, the Zwannendale Museum is a showcase of what makes up the first town in the first state, then and now. In 1631, the Dutch called Lewis Zwannendale, or Valley of the Swans. Their intent was to make this coastal town a whaling station, tobacco farm, and a venue for fur trading with Native Americans. Zwannendale has evolved, becoming the British Lewis, but this museum is designed off a town hall in the Netherlands, commemorating that rich European history. Inside, you'll learn about Lewis's military history, social changes, and maritime expertise, and sometimes maritime flops, like a shipwreck at the Roosevelt Inlet. That's one of the exhibits on the new Delaware Digital History Museum online. Once open, the museum is free, and even if you don't step inside, it's an old-timey welcome to the first town in the first state.
Tommy K. Morse was recently nominated as one of the top 5 female roofing professionals in the U.S. and Canada, and Morse Roofing and Siding was voted as the best roofing company in Sussex County for the last 5 years in a row.
Thank you, Sussex County.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Serving Sussex County, there's good.
There's better.
And then there's worse.
Over 14,000 people per day are affected by water damage in their home or business. Even a small leak from a water heater, washer, refrigerator line, or even HVAC drain can cause lasting damage. Response time is critical. Paul Davis has a team of certified experts on call 24/7 to stop the water, mitigate damage, and work directly with your insurance to quickly restore your home or business. If you see peeling paint, stains, mold, or smell a musty odor, call Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Weather is sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration, your storm damage experts, here to help now.
We're bringing bright hope to Delaware by creating opportunity. As Secretary of Labor, I focused on preparing the workforce of tomorrow. And in Congress, I've worked to strengthen career and technical education. Jobs that might not require a 4-year college degree, but do require skills. With jobs like these. Together, we can build the workforce of today and tomorrow. I'm Lisa Blunt Rochester, and I approve this message because our opportunities should be limitless.
My patients mean the world to me. It's why I come to work every day.
When a patient gives me a hug or says, I can't believe you were able to do this for me.
Getting somebody out of pain.
Seeing a patient be able to smile when they haven't for years.
Somebody that's afraid and then they're not afraid anymore.
I love making a difference in other people's lives for the better.
I think that's a really amazing thing that you can do for somebody else.
I'm thankful that I get to do it.
Open 6 days a week with convenient hours. Call and schedule your appointment today.
Step into something new at Vernon Powell. Jumpstart your fall routine with Brooks and Hoka. Vernon Powell has Delmarva's largest selection of Hoka, including Hoka Kids. Power through work with Dansko and Bionic. Wall-to-wall work boots and Carhartt apparel. Outfit your whole family for fall in fuzzy Uggs, comfy Hey Dude, or Birkenstocks with socks. Sparkling layered looks from E. Newton and Kendra Scott. Plus new apparel from brands like Patagonia, Pure Lore, North Face, and UGG at Vernon Powell in Salisbury and Rehoboth Beach.
Celebrate the season with the 4 best days of fall at Sunfest. Experience the ultimate celebration of food, drinks, arts, crafts, and entertainment along the boards from October 24th to the 27th. Embrace fall by enjoying a seaside tractor ride, chilling around a beach bonfire, navigating a corn maze, or participating in a pet and bicycle event. Shop around over 200 arts and crafts vendors. Immerse yourself in music with an incredible lineup of free musical performances. Enjoy the free family fun all day. For more information, visit ococean.com/sunfest.
WRDE First Alert Weather, brought to you by Ocean City, Maryland.
A very picturesque view, courtesy of our Tyndall's casual furniture camera in Laurel. 61 degrees. Will drop to 52 by 10 o'clock with scattered cloud cover. Umbrella giveaway winner, by the way, June Zeidler of Georgetown. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration. Frosty conditions just to our north, and of course, breezy conditions along the entire shore as the cold front has already pushed through. Watching out for 25-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line at 443-880-9100. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
Looks nice to me, except for that cold part. Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.
See you then.